Hello guys, welcome back. I was just having some technical difficulties, so I've just restarted my live. But welcome back to episode 10 of Chai with Rai. Boy, has this been a ride. It's been a wonderful ride and I'm so excited about it. Thank you to every single person that's joined. You can still find these episodes on my Instagram. I save them every single week. We've had every spectrum of fitness and entertainment industry that you can think of. I've had personal friends that I know from the dance industries to fashion to everything, and it's been so much fun to have them on and to share their journey and to share their stories. It's been really amazing. But without further ado, I'm gonna reintroduce Chloe. Chloe, like I said, is a PT based in London. She is a master trainer of Dig Me Fitness, which is a boutique fitness studio based here in London. She's the ambassador for Sweaty Betty. She's also sponsored athlete by Physio and Pilates. She's a daredevil, she's a tough mother, she's a survivor, and I said this in my previous live. She's a personal friend of mine who helped me out last year by giving me her wonderful flat when I was home. Without further ado, I'm gonna get Chloe on. Hello, Chloe. Chloe. We're waiting for Bodies by Chloe to join us. It says connecting, you guys. We're connecting. Chloe, if this doesn't work, it's to do with your Wi-Fi. It's not to do with me anymore. I'm fine. I've got like full Wi-Fi here.
Ray, can you see me?
Guys, let me know if you can hear me, if everything is fine. If we're experiencing any issues, let me know. We can solve them out. Technical issues is always a thing. Do you know what I mean? When we do these lives. But yeah, Chloe, why is it not working?
Hello?
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna stop rambling a little bit. Do you know when you have technical difficulties and like you're just like, I need to do this.
See,
So I'm
I
just trying
can't
to. Hi,
see Ray
Nisha.
though.
How are you? Hello. Let's see. I'm gonna turn off this filter, and then now let's see. I'm gonna Chloe. I'm gonna send it off to you again.
Okay, there we
Hello.
are. This is what we needed to do. You needed to request me instead.
That is it, boo boo. How are you? It's also
I'm
my
good.
filter. Every single time I put that filter on, there's something happening, and
So now everyone's gonna see all of our
everyone's gonna sit.
imperfections.
Oh, the flowers, the flowers. How are you, boo boo?
I am good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. We're gonna pretend that we haven't spoken, which we
Yeah.
did. But you were doing your nails. Let me see your nails.
Christmas nails.
Oh, wait, did you do your feet as well?
I did do my feet, but I'm not going to show you my feet.
Did you do the same color?
I did do the same color. I did.
How has your week been, friend? How has
It's
it
been
been?
good. I'm looking forward for this lockdown to be over.
Why?
I just feel like I'm ready to, see people again, kind
Yeah.
of mix with everyone. So
No, I feel you. How has everything else been? Like, what else have you been up to during this time?
so this time has actually been quite different to the first lockdown, because first lockdown I was actually in Spain with my family.
Yes, I
Yeah.
I
So
remember.
I kind of, yeah, it was very sudden. I I say. I went back to Spain. Whereas this lockdown, I have a bike here at home. I have
Oh,
been
yeah.
training my clients via Zoom or going just one-on-one. So actually, I've actually been quite busy. I picked up a few more clients since lockdown.
Yeah,
So yeah, although I'm not teaching as much, I've got more PT sessions. So it's a win-win for me.
it is a win-win. I'm just writing, I'm just pinning what we're doing, and then we're gonna get started. I'm
Okay.
kind of nervous.
Why are you nervous? If
I'm
anyone's going
just,
to be nervous, it's me.
I'm just nervous. Because I don't want to embarrass you.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Do
I
you know what I
embarrass
mean?
myself on a daily basis anyway, so it doesn't
We're
matter.
just gonna try and be ourselves, Jeanette.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's all it is. So I just discussed that, and I was looking. I've been stalking you, by the way, and I think we discussed it. How? And I see you've done a couple of Tough Mudders. How many Tough Mudders have you done?
One.
Just one. So you just have
This is
posted
why
about
you're
it twice.
embarrassing me now.
I thought you'd done a couple Tough Mudders.
No, just one. Just one.
What is a Tough Mudder? Do explain it to me. I know a couple of people in Dish may have done it, but what is Tough Mudder?
So basically, you've got different distances.
Yeah,
We went for the full, we went for the full Tough Mudder, which is 16K.
yeah,
And basically, there's like little obstacle courses that you have to complete and get to the end. So, I mean, some people do it as a race. We just did it to complete it. We did it for a little bit of fun. And I absolutely loved it. It's right up my street, just
nothing to.
climbing and going through mud. What other, like jumping in an ice bath, all that kind of stuff. So
You jump in an ice bath?
yeah, yeah.
Ouch.
Um,
Ouch.
we had to just slide in. It was freezing, but it was good.
Whoa. Well, by the way, I've got my chai. What are you drinking? You told me already this, but what are you drinking?
I'm drinking chai, obviously.
Do you know what chai is, by the way? Do
Yeah,
you know
chai
what it
tea,
translates
chai
to?
latte. I love chai latte.
Well done.
Yeah, no, but I
Well
mean,
done. Well done.
you know, I wouldn't know how to make a chai. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a tea, basically. Do you put just a little bit of milk? Or do you make it
Chai,
with
it
full on
basically
milk?
means tea. No, chai basically means tea. So you have like different types of tea. So like technically peppermint tea or ginger tea or all of those teas are considered chai. Chai is just Hindi for saying tea.
Oh, okay, okay. Well,
Mm.
I have a hot
Yeah.
chocolate with Baileys instead.
Well, we'll let that go. We'll let that go. Cheers, my
I
dear.
still have,
Cheers.
it's Baileys
Cheers.
with Chloe instead of chai
That
with
is
rye.
that is it. Oh, the name of a new show. Hi, Preeti. I was like I said, I was stalking you all this time, and you started at the age of 19. Would you say your professional sort of fitness career? Because you started PTing from then on, right?
Yes, I did.
What would you say is the biggest difference? What year would that be, roughly?
2008.
2008. From 2008 to 2020, what have been for you the biggest differences in fitness as a teacher?
I guess the trends that different trends, different fitness trends. Like now, it's all about. I feel like now there's a lot of CrossFit. Back in the day, CrossFit didn't exist.
Yeah,
What is the biggest difference? Got the fitness goals. Back in the day, it was getting into the gym to get like nice and thin, whereas now it's like,
yeah.
yeah, I want the big booty, I want the big thighs. This is speaking as a female. So yeah, I guess that's changed.
Do you think it's harder to become an instructor now or easier? Like, what were some of the qualifications that you had to do? I know, like, when I started, like, 10 years ago, even if I had to teach dance, I had to get an ETM. I had to have, like, level twos. I had to have, like, health and safety, like, limited public liability insurances. I think now with the kind of like the added bonus of like teaching at boutique fitness studios and like certain gyms, they cover you. But has the qualifications at all changed or not really?
I don't think they have changed. I think you might have the ability to get your qualifications at a studio,
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean that you're able to teach elsewhere. If you want to be able to teach in different places, you have to have obviously insurance, and to be able to get
yeah.
your insurance, you need to be level 2 qualified minimum. I never did exercise to music, but I did. I did do my level 3 PT. You're cracking up at Jay, aren't you?
Jay, I miss you too, mate. I feel like boutique fitness studios also back in the day didn't exist around
No.
2008. Am I incorrect in saying that? Like, I feel
Yeah.
like that is something, and kind of like these elitist gyms that have come along, or high-end boutique fitness studios, like even
I
such
feel
as,
like that's just come along since like 2015, the last 5
I agree.
years. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like the market has been different. Has that impacted you as a teacher? Like, do you feel like you have needed to either do more training or you've kind of had to teach your approachability to clients? or the clientele has changed? I know you talked about like now it's like more about the butt, now it's about toning.
I've got great hair. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Well, I just let it dry. It's a bit frizzy, but thanks. I'll take the compliment. Sorry, I got distracted. What did you say?
No, it's fine. Chloe, partially this is about like pimping you out now. Because guys, I just want to let everybody know, Chloe and I work together. My favorite thing to do is get on the intercom and basically pronounce the fact that Chloe's single and she's looking to date people. So
And
yeah.
he says things like, Chloe's favorite things to do is
Walk on the beach
and hold hands, and embarrasses me in front of everyone. Yeah.
You like it. I don't know why you're saying you don't like it.
That's like saying I like it when you take my microphone away and introduce yourself and say that.
I'm just showing you how the pros do it. It's
Of course.
only. How do you think you came to be a master trainer for DJ
Because of you.
He likes walking on the beach and holding hands.
Jay, I think you and I are made for each other. Shall we go and walk along the beach?
Jay, I think I'll hook you two up. I'll leave you two lovebirds then. Should I just leave?
Okay, bye.
No, but we were just talking about the gyms and things like that. That now there's more like boutique fitness studios and things like that. How has that coaching changed for you from like PT or like teacher to kind of like member or student?
So I used to work in a gym, so it would just mainly be PT, whereas now I mainly teach classes and kind of do PT on the side. Just because I obviously with Digme, they've got studios everywhere. So I'm able to, I've got the choice to be able to teach like 5 classes a day. Whereas before you wouldn't be able to get that in a gym. And with classes, I find it's more reliable. You don't have the class is always going to be there. Whereas with PTs, depending on where I've PT'd, sometimes people would go for 2 months. They'd be like, yeah, bye. And then the summer months or the Christmas months, you just don't have many people. So yeah.
Do you enjoy, you teach over 20, like let's take into account, you do 20 classes a week. On top of that, you do PTs. Do you enjoy that much of a vigorous physical like week?
Yeah, I do. That is the one thing. Yeah, no, I really do. I like being busy. I like just kind of running around. Come Friday, I don't tend to do anything.
Dying.
Pass out. But no, I mean, would I like a little bit more of a balance? Maybe not to finish so late every night or to cram everything in, rather than spread out throughout the day. Maybe just all until mid-afternoon. But it's just the life of PT, really.
You've recently started stopped working on the weekends, right?
Yeah.
But I want to take you back. You mentioned in a couple of the things that I was reading that you've had to become a trainer 4 times because you've moved so much and you've had to start from kind of like the bottom all the way up, that you would just pack a suitcase and you would just move, whether it was like to Switzerland, Spain, the States. But I want to go back to like your first ever PTing job.
Okay.
How nervous were you to get your first, like what was it? Were you working at a gym?
Yeah.
So you were working at a gym. Okay, this is in 2008.
Yeah.
How did the interview go? How was that first PT client? Did you have to walk the floor as everybody does and kind of like have to do? And who was your first client? Do you still keep in touch with them?
I don't keep in touch with them, but if you're talking about my actual interview to become a PT, it is the worst interview ever. Like,
what do they ask you? What do you get asked in all of these interviews?
Usually, like in the fitness industry, they're quite relaxed. I don't really know about a normal interview for like a desk job. I feel like that's quite serious.
Yeah.
But this. The guy that interviewed me, he's like, oh, what are your strengths and your weaknesses? Right? The classic interview question. And so I was like, my weaknesses is that I'm shy, all of this. I just started saying loads of weaknesses. And then I was like, strengths? I don't really have any.
Did you actually say that?
Literally. But I still got the job. So, and then I got my first client. I'm I'm not 100% sure how I got him, but it was a he, I remember. And I remember, I mean, I'm a nervous wreck still to this day. I
Yes,
get super
sometimes,
nervous.
sometimes.
Yeah. And so I obviously didn't sleep the night before. And then an
Yeah.
hour before my session, that's it. Like, I just broke down. I was like, I'm not made to be a PT. I went into my manager's office and I was like, I'm sorry, you've made a mistake. This is not me. And he
Oh
kind of
my
just
God.
sat me down. He's like, just calm down. And then once I started training, that was it. I was fine. It was just the first time. I just get very nervous.
What did you do with your first paycheck? How much did you earn, by the way? Would you mind me asking that?
Paycheck. I mean, what do you mean?
From your first PT, like
Oh, the fit.
yeah,
How much was it? I think it was £25.
£25. Do you think at 19, when you have studied that much, interviewed and gone through the stress of that much, you're like, do you appreciate that £25, or you're just like, bloody hell? The amount of effort I put in for a £25 or for an hour.
I don't really remember the thoughts, but I was very, very happy to have had my first client, because I think I got my first client quite quickly. So yeah, I was happy. I think the most excited was not just like the one-off payment. It was like the first block of 10 sessions I sold. I was like, yes,
Where was this? This was in Switzerland or Spain?
I know this was in England.
Wait, so okay, now we're gonna go in. Actually, before we do that, what prep work went into this first client?
What prep work?
Yeah.
I'm
Jay,
gutted you were my first.
Jay, I'm trying to listen.
Well, obviously, I kind of, it was like an introductory session, so you can't. Throughout, I kind of spoke about what he really wanted to achieve, and then I kind of do quite basic stuff to see how much I can push them the next time round. You kind of have to read your client. Everyone's different.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now looking back at that program, do you think, what would you give that program out of 5?
Oof. Well, let me tell you. So I remember, looking back at certain programs that I've written, they're so basic. But so it was back in a Fitness First, and it was at like 6:30. So it was peak hour. All machines would have been used. So I remember I had this little corner, which was the corner of the gym where there was no machine. So I would literally just get like a little box, some weights, and that would be my area, so that I could program my stuff and not be kind of stuck if a machine was being used. So it was definitely all free weight stuff, probably a lot more body weight stuff for the first session, just to see how
that was.
Yeah.
I want to ask you in regards to the clientele differences, okay? What is the difference between male and female clientele? The biggest differences when they come to you, either for PT or groups and things like that?
I've said this in another little chat before, but the guys are not going to come to me to become bodybuilders, right? So
you never know. You said I heard this in your last interview. I think it was with Max or something, where you were like, you don't train guys because you don't know about bulking and things like that.
Yeah, it's not my kind of speciality. Like, I mean, I know how to program it, but it's not really what I'm into. I like more conditioning stuff. So actually, I mean, most of the population, they come to a trainer to get fit, to slim down a little bit. So that is my main thing, is just conditioning.
Cool. So that's the biggest difference between guys and girls. Guys want to bulk, women want to tone.
So not really, because
no,
most guys, all guys that I've trained, they've just wanted to, feel a little bit better with themselves, get a little bit more in shape, just feel a bit stronger. Love conditioning work.
I think I should leave it too alone. Differences of clientele in different cities. I know some instructors talk about like LA clients are completely different to like New York. You've taught in Spain. Where in the States have you taught?
Oh, the States was that was just trying to find work.
Okay.
So I didn't train anyone in the States.
Okay, so where have you actually, let's go through it.
The
Switzerland?
UK, Spain, and Switzerland.
What are the differences between all three, would you say? What's the
In what way?
crowd like? It was the crowd like? Like, kind of like, I'm asking you like a musician. So, you know, sometimes they'll be like, oh, fans are really rowdy in London. So, like, do you feel like some cities are much more like direct? Like, you know how you talk about Moorgate? Moorgate is just serious.
Mm.
People don't want to come for the fluff and things like that. They're city workers. They just want to come in. Whereas opposed to a Fitzrovia ride, it's a little bit more interaction. It's a little bit more pumpy. It's about music. So I'm trying to ask it in that sort of perspective.
I think the biggest difference is freedom of clients, as in like freedom of people's working. I don't think there's, okay, in Switzerland, you can definitely tell that people have a lot more money.
Yeah.
Yeah. The main thing, I wouldn't say my client wise, but when I first got to Geneva, you looked at the women and honestly, half of them had like a boob job and they had their butts done and like, like honestly.
In Geneva?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got there in the gym and I thought, oh my God, I felt really self-conscious actually. As a trainer, I was like, oh no, I don't look good enough. But yeah.
Okay, so that's that. The UK.
The UK, I mean, it all depends. I think London is definitely a huge mix of people,
Yeah.
right? So I don't know. I feel like, as I've told my clients this, a lot of my clients are all very, very similar. Flights to Geneva can be very, very cheap.
Go on EasyJet. Right now it's probably cheap, Jay.
It's probably like £15.
Yeah.
I feel like you get drawn to the same type of people. So
Yeah.
I feel like all my clients have been quite similar. Because that is what I don't know, is the energy I give out or something.
Biggest difference between teaching groups versus PT?
I think teaching group, you just get the energy when you're doing the class, and it's, I don't know, you get that instant vibe, energy, gratification, or like, I don't know how to explain it. Whereas with PT, I think it's a little bit more personal, obviously, personal training.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know, you connect a little bit more with that person, you get to know them, and when they achieve that goal, I just don't, it's such a nice thing to be able to know that you help them achieve that goal. And I suppose you have that in group exercise as well, but it's not, I don't know, I feel like with a client, a one-on-one client, they usually just come to you. Whereas with group exercise, you might be one of many instructors that they go to.
No, it's true.
To achieve that goal.
You've been teaching through lockdown, and I feel like even prior to lockdown, you did do some digital stuff because you did Be Cool, right? Biggest difference that now, as of now, you have found between digital teaching and in-house teaching?
So the first time I had to do digital teaching, which means there's no crowd, because I vibe.
You're a crowd. You're a crowd person.
Literally. Yeah. So, there's nothing better than having like a full class, and I don't know, I feed off people's energy. So when I had to teach to a camera and there was no one, it felt really, really weird. I felt
Were you
so
egging yourself
uncomfortable.
on? Do you feel like you were like amping yourself like more even, or you were like less? Because I can't imagine you shy, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, it was terrible. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
because I had never done any filming before. And you had the camera crew, and then you had some instructors that were waiting to do their filming, and they had all done filming before. So I felt like they were judging me because I had no idea what I was doing. And my mouth, oh my God, I've never had such a dry mouth. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. Um, but now, I mean, I just crack myself up. I ask
Do it.
questions and answer them myself. I don't, I'm quite used to just speaking to the camera and not getting anything back. I just imagine what people would be saying, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has that impacted you? So from the first lockdown, I know you did lots of Insta lives, you taught for Even Dig Me, and you did like so much like YouTube content. Do you like when you went back to the studio, was there like you were just did that take a minute to like adjust back into the studio? Or you were just like, no, it feels right back home. It's like riding a bike,
It
technically.
felt absolutely fine. I mean, sometimes you go to the studio and I, I I'm not a very serious person, so and even like
What?
I ask the crowd to whoop whoop, and they ignore me. I usually make a joke, and I suppose back then I was like, oh, it's as if I'm just speaking to the camera like before because you're all not giving me anything back anyway. So, just yeah, it all felt the same really, but it was very nice being back in the studio.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was good to have you back. I miss the studio. I can't wait to be back.
yeah.
Just to interact with people, and then hopefully we can go back to like touching each other and doing high fives.
Touching each other.
Not like that, you know what I mean? You're nasty. I when I think of you, I think of your strength, and I think of how fit you are. And like, I mean, let's just have a look, okay? How fit you are, okay? Like literally how
Wow,
fit you are.
someone was scrolling down my Instagram.
This is a multi-dimensional show now, okay? There's gonna be visuals along here. But I want to talk about like your personal, not like your history on how you got to where you are at, but like your personal fitness journey. Like, were you always into sports when you were growing up? Have you suffered with like gaining weight and like yo-yoing up and down, or have you naturally been athletic? Yeah.
I've always been into sport from very, very young age. Whatever it was, after school, basketball, football, fit club, and I've never been overweight.
Yeah.
If you look back at it now, in my mind, I mean, I had always, and still to this day, had a lot of body issues. Um, like, yeah, from the age of 13, whatever diet there is, I've probably tried it.
Yeah.
So I've I eat a lot still. I eat a lot of chocolate. People that know me, I do love my sugar, but I do train a lot. So if I stop training, I don't know what would happen.
Has there been a period of time, and we'll get onto it, when you have just like struggled with, I don't know, bench pressing or like, I don't know, squatting a specific amount in your life, like, or up till now, like when you were maybe 19 or 18, you could like, I don't know, bench press or squat like 100 kg, and now you're like at a nice 80.
I've never really had those particular goals. So this is why I feel like I'm very different to a lot of people, because
Yeah.
people have like a certain goal that they want to reach, and that's what they're training towards. Whereas I just genuinely like training. I like getting my heart rate up. I just like jumping around. There's not much there. I just, yeah, I just like getting my heart rate up and feeling a little bit uncomfortable. So if I
What
do
is the
that,
longest?
yeah.
No, sorry. No, go ahead. Heart rate, jumping.
Yeah, so if I feel like I'm going to throw up, it's a plus.
What is the longest time we're gonna move on to it in a little bit. I know you've been injured and stuff like that, but let's take maybe injuries out, or even put that in. What is the longest time you have not trained for?
Without injuries, not because of injuries.
Let's put injuries in there as well.
When you say no training, it's no movement at all, or yeah?
I mean, you're moving, you're mobile. Like, I know you crawl to the kitchen to get your tea when you when you like, or like are doing things, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm gonna say 3.5 months.
3.5 months. How much weight did you gain?
I didn't. I lost weight.
Oh, mate, the amount of people that are gonna hate on you right now.
Yeah. So I think because I do so much exercise when I'm teaching, and because I'm so active, I think, oh yeah, I can eat this. Oh yeah, and I eat everything. You know, I am not gonna lie. Sometimes I used to eat 2 family bars of chocolates a day, a tub of Ben and Jerry's. You know, name it, I probably ate it. Whereas when I'm injured, or let's say in lockdown number 1, I'm suddenly at home and I can't move around, because I usually do like 25,000 steps a day. So that alone is it dropped down to, I don't know, 1,000 steps a day, because I wasn't allowed to leave the house. So then I just adjusted my food a little bit, not stopping eating anything, but just not the amounts that I would have been eating otherwise.
I just want to, before we move on to a serious situation, I want to ask 2 things. One is, do you feel like your stamina or your muscle memory has changed from 19 to now, or it's improved? And then the second question is, we touched on this, and it's one of my favorite stories for you to tell. The first lockdown in Spain, when you went back to your parents, you sent me videos, and I thoroughly enjoyed these videos that you were sending me, not selling me. But we're going to talk about that. Describe to me how you were treated as a prisoner in your own house.
So basically,
you would be literally dropped food on the door, and you couldn't shower and pee, and you had to go into the family pool and had to do that. And then your family would drain it and clean it and put it back.
Don't listen to him. So I went back to Spain.
Wait. No, first question is stamina and everything, and muscle memory.
So, right. My stamina, I think I've become stronger.
Yeah.
Well, I've had definitely periods where I was definitely stronger.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it's kind of gone whoop and then a little bit down. You know, I've reached my 30. It's all going downhill from now.
Why do you say that? I don't know why. I feel like I see so many of you guys, and like female instructors especially, and like you guys are all aging beautifully, and I feel like, I don't know why it is, women discuss this all the time, like when you hit your 30, like your 20s are your plethora like of fitness, but when you reach your 30 you start going down.
I don't necessarily think I feel like, for example, I used to do this thing called Fitbrit. It's like a little challenge that they do at Fitness First every year. And I would ace it. Like I would just, thank you. I look 23.
She's 13, you guys.
Years,
she's not even legal.
So, and I would love doing it. I never did any training for it. I just went for it. It's basically do a set of exercises, finish it as quickly as possible. So it's right up my street, to the, you know, feeling like you're gonna vomit type scenario.
I don't know why you like doing that. It's nasty.
I know. It's just, you know that you've really pushed your body that way. Whereas
your classes are like that as well. It's nasty.
Now I wouldn't even try it, because I know that I'm definitely not as fit as I used to be, like say 3 or 4 years ago. And the reason why that is because I teach so much.
Yeah.
And people are like, you know, but you teach so many classes, you must be so fit. Well, actually, when I'm teaching, I don't push myself, as you know, because I need to be able to speak. Why are
It's
you cracking up?
the art of disguising when
Yeah,
you
I
are
mean,
doing 20 spin classes, let's say, or like teaching matrix, which is hip based. You guys are riding at a gear of 10, maybe 8,
maybe
you
try
know,
to.
maybe 2. And, you know, in terms of your matrix classes, you just name the exercises, do it once, and then get the other people. Like, you take out pain. You get gratification from the pain that we feel coming to your class whilst we're dying.
No, not
And you're
necessarily.
yelling in our faces. You're
Not
yelling in our
necessarily.
faces.
I mean, it would be my worst nightmare if you walked out of a class and said that was easy. Then I feel like I failed you.
I mean, I've said that several times, Chloe.
Yeah, I know you have. But with you, it's because you're not working hard enough.
That is very true. I am very lazy.
Hey, Ems. Yeah, so what was the other question?
We were talking about, Spain, lockdown.
Oh, yeah,
It's not really a question.
a
It's more of a
story.
telling of your prison story, let's say, of lockdown one.
So basically, I flew out to Spain, and you know, things were very bad in Spain. My mum, you know, she is a high risk person, so she put me in a room for 2 weeks, for 2 weeks, you know, quarantining. And don't worry, it's not like what Ray said before. Right? Sorry, I always call
No,
you.
no, it's fine. We've known each
Um,
other 16 years, and you can call me Ray. Don't worry.
so I did have a bathroom and a toilet, by the way.
No, you didn't, Chloe.
I
You
did,
peed and showered in the pool.
but but basically, my parents would cook, and they would come with a tray and put the tray down, knock on the door, and when they were far enough, then I'd be able to open the window and pick up the tray to eat my food.
Did you at any point put on like Adele and like just be like, "Hello, it's
No,
me"?
but there was one point. So then they would sit on the other side of the window, and we'd have conversations with each other. And then there was one point where my sister and my parents were in the living room, and I was sat outside with like a little blanket, just chit chatting to them. And then they must have gotten bored, and they started watching TV, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll go back to my room.
Can I just say, that was the reality for a lot of people, especially for like people who couldn't like mix and well. Like I saw, like I even heard from my friends who had friends in like in like old folks' home or care homes, they would just come outside the window and like talk. How does that emotionally feel, not being able to physically interact? In your support bubble, especially, because those people are within your support bubble. How does that mentally feel?
I mean, it was okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was okay. It was nice when I was finally allowed to be in the main house with the family.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want to do it all the time. Definitely not.
yeah.
But even like where I was, my window opened up to the garden, so they would be able to be in the garden just a couple of meters away from me, and I would be able to pretend like I was with. I mean, I was with them,
No,
really.
it's true.
Yeah.
How did you what did you do the half of the time that you weren't, like, you were working out, obviously you were doing Instagram lives, creating content for Dish May. What else were you doing? Netflixing, reading books? How did you
Netflixing.
pass the time? Netflixing.
Um, I read 5 books,
Yeah.
5 or 6 books. Then what else did I do? I
No,
made
don't
some
think too hard.
playlists.
You did.
I did some Netflixing. Once the weather got better, I was out in the garden eventually.
Stunning.
I would walk my sister's dog for about 2 hours when we were allowed
We're
to
just
go out.
around that 4 square parameter in outside your jail.
Well, until we were allowed to actually go out. I was actually a rebel. I would still go out on the street.
You and a rebel? Wow,
I mean, it was literally like
you're such a good
50
girl.
meters, 50 meters there and back, there and back. What books?
Spain was tough though. Oh yeah, Em's asked what's book.
What books I read? One of them, which I really liked, was the Celestine Prophecy. Is that
What's that about?
It's all about people's energies. It's actually a really good book. I mean, there's a storyline to it. But yeah, no, I really like that book. And then from the same writer, I read another book. I am terrible with names, by the way, so I couldn't really tell you what books I read. But the rest of them were quite easy to read books. So I allowed myself to have like some books where you learn some stuff, and the rest of them easy kind of lovey-dovey. No, I like crime books. That's a lie. I like crime books. Yeah.
And you live by yourself. I think that's a bit freaky.
No. I'm prepared, you know.
That is very true. I don't think anybody would even want to mess with you. I wouldn't, certainly. No. We're going to move on to a little bit of a serious topic. And I kind of want to talk about the rest of the mattresses.
Pretty much, yeah.
We're just reading magazines, like Glamour magazine and like Vogue. Yeah, I kind of want to move on to a little bit of, you don't need to set a serious tone to it, but I know of some of the injuries and the situations that you have had. And I don't know in what order to go, but man, like, have you survived? You have survived a lot. You have survived a lot, and you're still surviving.
Yeah, my ankles are a real issue. I've got
You're still going.
Issues.
I think, before we touch on the main thing, I want to discuss the 3 main instances. If you don't mind me asking, you can just be like, right, how could you, and just walk out. But I know you won't do that. Your cyst, the thyroid.
Right, how could you ask this?
Your slip disc and your foot injuries. I say foot injuries because you've had several of them. Yes. And I was there when you twisted your foot in the studio and you kept teaching.
I did.
You have a very bad habit of doing things like this. There's a leak happening from the roof, you continue teaching. There's a foot injury, you continue teaching.
Nothing
I get the show must
me.
go on.
You know,
nothing
can stop me.
I think it's a good thing, but I'm a bit worried. But out of those 3, obviously the rehabilitation process, but being an active person, how was that mentally for you and emotionally for you? Like, what goes through your head the minute? Let's just go, if you don't mind me. Let's go through the line. What happened first, the cyst, or the slip disc?
So I knew that. So basically, I had a lot of cysts around my thyroid, and it's something that runs in my family. So my grandma, my uncle, my mum, they've all had their thyroids removed. And basically, it's kind of because I've got so many. Instead of getting it punctured every year to see if they've become cancerous or something like that, they just decide to remove the thyroid so that you don't have to worry about getting yearly checkups. So I knew that I would have to at some point get it removed. It wasn't like a pressing matter because they weren't growing loads, and when I did get them checked out, they were okay. So that was kind of just there waiting for a time to be done. Then my slip disc, so I had C4 and C5, and I think that was a long building process for that to happen.
Can I ask you, for people who are like dummies like myself, when you say C4, C5, did you say, or C3?
So
what is that?
So basically, in your spine, you've got your C's, you've got the lumbar. So it's in the cervical part right here. So It's just, yeah, 2 of the discs. And I think it's because of my work, probably because of what I used to, especially when I was traveling back and forth in Switzerland, I would carry all of this weight on my back. Jesus Christ, you're such an idiot. So I think, you know, just having, like, for example, my backpack with some weights in them. I had a 10-kilogram core bag, and I would trek around Geneva with it, and it was fine. But, you know, I think eventually my body decided to give away. Huh?
It catch up.
Yeah.
How was that for you? Like, what, you went to the doctor, you had, like, what, an instance where you just felt something?
No, it was a long, like I said, I would sometimes wake up and my neck would just be stuck and I'd be in a lot of pain. But then it just got worse and worse, to the point where there was a time where I would literally, no matter what position I was lying in, no matter if I was in just constant pain. And then I started getting numbness down my arm. So that was obviously where the discs were compressing against, I don't know, something.
The tissue?
No.
The muscle?
I can't
something.
Let's just think of the word right now. Can't think of it. But yeah. So basically I thought, because I'd spoken to a couple of people and I had done some research, and I thought, yeah, I've got a slip disc. And, you know, when I said it, people were like, there's no way you've got a slip disc. You wouldn't be able to function. But then I went and got an MRI, and yeah, 2 slip discs. So then the only way it was going to get better was if I completely stopped everything. So I went back to Spain for 3 months. And then at that point, it would have been a good time to get my thyroid done. But because it's also in my neck, I couldn't do it at the beginning. I had to wait until my discs were better and then do the operation.
How long was the recovery period for the cyst?
So 2 to 3 weeks. But for example, with my mum, they touched her, because you've got your thyroid and you've got your voice box near it, and they touched her voice box, and she basically lost her voice for a long time. So you never really know. But I was lucky. Although, and people, I mean, I know definitely people from Digme have realized my voice is not as high as it used to be. No, I'm being serious.
Sorry.
And also, my singing career went out the window.
Oh, we're gonna, by the way, I hope you are ready for the end part, because you're gonna sing and dance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a whole
I don't think I agreed to that.
It's fine. It's just gonna happen.
Okay.
Because you're such an active person, how does that affect you mentally? Were you just like, shit, I'm just not? And I know the sort of mindset that you have. Like, I've experienced it, and I sometimes at points I even have it myself. Although I think now that you've gotten better, you've learned to, like, pull back. But were you just like, shit, like, what goes through your head instinctively? Do you go like, okay, I'm gonna have to find cover. Okay, wait, I'm gonna have to go back to my parents. Wait, I can't pay for my rent anymore, so I'm gonna be out of work, because you're a freelancer. Like, my mind goes straight away there. What goes through your head?
Yeah, it was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna be out for a while. I might as well go home. I'm really good at kind of forgetting all negative stuff and just remembering good stuff. So I don't really remember everything that I would have thought, but I mean, definitely all of those things, like, okay, I'm not going to be able to work, you know, covering my classes for 3 months. What impact is that going to have on me? And yeah, but I suppose it was just kind of, I think at that point, I realized that everyone can break, and I need to start saying no to things, because I'm not very good at saying no. People will be like, oh, can you cover this? If I'm free, yeah, okay, I'll cover. so after that, when I came back, that's when I actually decided that I wasn't going to work weekends anymore, so I could have an actual 2 days to my, 2 days free of work, and cover the odd class if someone needed it. But yeah, I think it's made me realize that I need to just take a little step back and think about my body a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
think
very hard mentally though. I mean, I'm sure, we would talk about it. I was in a very bad place mentally anyway when my slip discs happened. I'd been suffering from depression for a very long time, and it was, it was probably, I don't know if it made it worse because I was in such a bad place at the time, but I do remember being so low, and not being able to keep myself busy during that time. Because usually, if I'm working, at least I sometimes can forget about the way I'm feeling, or just kind of take my mind off things. But there, I just had nothing to do. I was just in constant pain for the beginning of it. But the best feeling ever was a day when I suddenly wasn't in pain, because I had been living with such constant pain for over a year that I didn't know what it felt like not to be in pain. So it was very nice that day it happened. And I still remember I was lying outside and I was like, oh my God, my neck doesn't hurt. It was amazing.
Did it feel like a relief, like a kind of weight off your shoulder? You just felt like...
Yeah.
How long till you were mobile and you were actually able to move, like, I don't know, your hands, your shoulders up and things like that? Because I know you're restricted for a certain time in regards to doing something.
I was always able to move, as in like walk. But there was, for example, there was a lady that was staying at my parents' bed and breakfast, and she was a yoga and Pilates teacher. And she just looked at me and she said, you're like a block. She said, relax. And I was like, I am relaxed. And she said, you are so tense. And, when I do the moves now that she made me do back then, I realized that I was just a block. And because that's the way I've been living for so long, I thought that was normal. But yeah.
You and I have discussed alongside with like Michelle, Ali, and like the whole gang, like sort of mental stuff and anxiety, and especially I think we've like touched on it briefly in regards to doing lockdown. And I think like yourself, myself, and so many people have gone through stuff. But I think I said this to you in our phone call before. I feel like such a bad friend that I didn't know in regards to this, but when did you find out that, is the right word to say you were diagnosed, or it's the right word, you were diagnosed?
It was actually all in that period. So when I was in Spain, I went to try some more therapy, although it was really I didn't really want to go, but my mum, because I was in such a bad place, she was like, you've gone to this guy before, you should go and see him again. And then my grandma had bipolar as well. And
for some people who don't know, could you just explain what bipolar is?
You've got two different types of bipolarity, I'm going to say, bipolar 1 and bipolar 2. And so with normal bipolar, you have like your manic periods, where basically if you're not taking the right medication, you can do very, very crazy and dangerous things. And then you've got the opposite, where you're in like this deep hole. With bipolar type 2, because you don't have the manic episodes, it's very difficult. A lot of the time it gets misdiagnosed with depression.
Mm-hmm.
But my family, people that know me, would be able to tell when I was a little bit too excited, like nothing can stop me, nothing can touch me, and they could tell that I wasn't really being myself. And it was actually, I think it was my sister that noticed it first, and then my mum noticed it, and then I spoke to this psychiatrist, and yeah, he just put me on the right medication, and it was life-changing for me because it was mood stabilizers. I had a lot of lows, a lot of lows, and then I'd have some small periods where I'd feel too excited, but they didn't last very long. So yeah.
Well, I know in one of the interviews you call them your happy pills now.
Oh yeah, I still call them my happy pills.
um, I have a personal problem, and I was going to ask you this. I have a personal problem because I think for a long time, because we work in fitness and we work in entertainment, like I think we naturally have such exuberant personalities, like we're outgo-getting people, and I think sometimes people can like misdiagnose you and just call you words to like put it down. So did you ever have that sort of, names like, oh my God, you're acting such bipolar and things like that? Did you ever have that moment when you got diagnosed, or you were going to this psychologist and you were like, no, I don't? You went into that, or were you finally like, okay, I know what it is and I'm able?
So for me, it was a relief. When they said
Yeah.
that, it was a relief because I knew that going to therapy wasn't going to help me. I had tried many therapists before, and I just didn't, I don't know, that I don't feel like I've had anything trigger a depression or anything like that. So I always thought therapy was a waste of time. So knowing that it was kind of just an imbalance in my head made me happy. Knowing that, being able to take medication and feel normal again, that's all I wanted. So I don't really care what it is I've got, as long as I can just, do my thing, just be happy. Yeah.
How long do you have to take these medications for, and like what's the actual
life.
process the rest of your life? And you take like what, 3, 4, like one pill a day, or like?
I take 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening.
Okay.
And and if I don't, the effect it comes off very quickly. So if I forget, let's say twice in like 2 days time, I feel such a big dip. Yeah, I would say, I don't want to say I'm addicted to them because, but yeah, I definitely need them.
Yeah.
Don't know what I would do without them. Like I remember I was in a very, very, very bad time just before I got given these meds. So I'm very glad that I've got them.
I think it's hearing your story, and I think like being around you, which I'm very privileged to. And I listened to one of the podcasts, and was it at the age of 21?
Yeah.
Yeah, the age of 21. I think the connection that you have with Steph, your sister, and the connection that you have with your family is like so, I don't know, infectious, and you guys are like so hilarious together. But I also heard that they pushed you, and like you said, they pushed you and they wanted to do you. I don't know why, but I feel like I would resent my family if that was me, for thinking that something was wrong with me. But I think it's so beautiful that the strength that you have with your close connection and the sanity and the support that you have is just, it's really tremendous.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like I didn't want to go therapy. I knew there was something wrong with me. I mean, I was crying nonstop. I would crying in a public place, I don't think twice about it. Like, I don't care if I'm sat on a bus and I'm bawling my eyes out from one minute to the next. It's just because that's what would happen. I remember trying to get some help and asking I don't know, asking a receptionist, and she basically said no. And that's all it took. And just started bawling my eyes out. So they obviously knew there was something up with me. I knew there was something up with me. At that time, I didn't want to tell anyone that I was depressed because, you know, you were young, and the kind of stigma around it, which I feel like now people are kind of opening up about it a little bit more. But back then, I didn't want to tell anyone, and I wanted to fix it myself, and I didn't need help from anyone. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the time, there was one particular time again in 2016 when my mum flew out to the UK, and she was like, you need to get help. And she's like, we're going to this person. And I was like, I don't want to go. But she pushed me to do it. And I know that it's coming from the goodness of her heart, and they just want to help me. So, you know, I don't know. You say you would resent them, but I don't think so. I think if you know that they want it's in your best interest. They want you to be happy. And
I think it's the part where, if I don't know, I think maybe it's to do with my cultural background. I think it's thinking that they know something, they think I'm wrong, because I think there's still such a negative stigma around, I don't know, we'll talk about this as well. I think like perfection, there's this, and kind of like we live for other people's approval, and if there's something incorrect in us, whether, you know, that's reading a review that might hurt us, like, you know, when you do classes and things, like, we're human, like that does affect us. We are in the public eye. And I think, like, I don't know, thinking that there was something imperfect and incorrect about me that needed that much of a magnitude of fixing, I think that's what I refer to.
Yeah, but if you are constant, so imagine you have a friend, and this friend has always been super happy, you know, loving life, a little ray of sunshine, and then that person's gone. You don't see, you know, it's a completely different person, and you know that they are struggling, they're in a bad place. Surely you want to do everything in your power to help them. It's not about being perfect, or it's just about getting them into you know, getting them
better space.
Yeah, better headspace. Yeah.
We went deep.
We did. It got really
It got deep really quickly. Oh my God. I want to discuss two things before we start having some fun and play some games. One is, we kind of touched on it, and it's kind of like your relationships with your friends and your family. And I think you have a very supporting group, and I'm privileged to be a part of it, a small part of it. Where's the gang? Let me find a picture of the gang. There's a gang over there. It's missing Steph. I do apologize about that, by the way. And it's missing a couple of other important key people, but you know, that was the picture that I found, so there's that. But I kind of want to discuss the being a woman, firstly, in the fitness industry. How that is. I remember this, oh my God, I don't want to tell this story because I'm going to get in trouble and you're going to get in trouble.
Oh God, what are you going to tell me now?
No. I remember when I was working in Cycle B, and it was this studio that was very performance based. It's where Gareth Lewis came from, and there were a lot of female instructors in there. Some
Not Gareth Lewis, Gareth Turner.
Gareth Turner. Sorry, Gareth, if you're watching this. And these women auditioned for Dig Me, and their livelihoods, because the studio was closing down, their livelihood was at cost. And I remember talking to them, and they were in their late 60s, maybe late 50s, and they were discussing how it feels to be a woman in the fitness industry. And they were like, just because I'm not young, just because I haven't got like perfect tits, just because I'm not blonde, just because like I don't get this. Does my experience not count for something? Just because I don't have this job or I'm not doing this, just because I might cry and show emotion at an interview or at a thing, I'm ostracized for being a woman. How have I know you're a pretty positive person, and when I think of you and when I talk to you, I don't see like the whole gender issue. I just want to know how your personal journey has been as a woman in the fitness industry. Have you come across challenges? Have you seen these challenges? I know some of the other instructors in DigMe or just in general that have like faced this, but thoughts on that?
I mean, I have been, yeah, not in it. I mean, I got the job, but I have been told that they gave me the job because they thought that I looked attractive and whatever. And for me, it's like, well, I don't want the job because of that. I want the job because you think I'm good for the job. You think I'm qualified and you think I'd be good for the job. There was one time where I did an interview for another gym, and this person, she was writing notes as I was replying to questions, and one of the notes was like, she wrote hot. I'm like, what does that have? I know that I'm a personal trainer and you know, we have to physically look good, but that doesn't mean, you know, you can be a person that is overweight and be a lot more knowledgeable than I am. Because, you know, you don't look the part doesn't mean that you're not a good trainer. But yeah, I mean, the fitness industry, it is quite a shallow industry.
Do you think we'll ever get to a point where it's substance over, I don't know, appearance in a way? Like, I know there's a lot of people that are like do sort of things and are coming to the forefront, and like especially even the dance space and the fitness space, people who aren't fitting the mold. But do you think the sexualization of the provocative I don't know, marketing behind women to be a specific way in fitness and in entertainment is ever going to stop? Like, if somebody didn't fit that sort of fit mold, do you think that it will ever be fine in fitness for women, or no?
I don't know.
No.
I mean, I would you know, I would like to think that people come to my classes because they enjoy them, not because, you know, so if I was to gain 20 kilograms, I'm still going to be the same instructor. I'm still going to crack myself up and ask you to whoop. So I'm not changed. So I hope that it wouldn't affect me or you know, my classes, but you never know.
I find it so sad when I hear instructors or when I see people just like kind of dealing with this sort of situation, especially female, because I feel like you guys have it like so tough. But it's interesting that when you guys go through this, I'm just like, look, I was raised by a single mother. You still won't be able to count. No, it's fine. I was raised by a single mother. All of the people that I've always worked with have been like female led. Like Kato was my studio manager. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And before that, it was another female person that I was working for. So I always find it interesting that women are put down so much when, in my eyes, they've always been the one like kind of like carrying the torchlight. Have you ever felt the pressures of it? Like the pressures of like being a specific mold?
No. I feel like, you know, no, I really haven't.
No.
No.
No, it's just not me.
No.
Maybe I think you have this sort of mentality, which is like, you see things, but you don't acknowledge them. And you're just like, I'm doing me regardless of this. And I know my worth and I know my talent, and it's going to be that.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, I just do me.
I just do
whatever I want.
I just do me. I just do Chloe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
we're quickly going to discuss two things. We're going to move on. Digital space now in fitness. How do you feel like it's impacted the digital space? Two is, we can brush past this, being with somebody who you were previously. Why are you smiling? We can brush past this. With somebody who's in the fitness industry, how is that? Worst thing and greatest thing about being with somebody in the same industry as you?
Are we not going with the first one?
We can go with the first one.
I can go with the second one as well.
I would like you to do it in an accent, as you always do, please.
No, we can't.
Yes, we can do it.
No,
we need to do it. We need to do it. Do you know?
No, I told myself I wasn't going to talk in this accent.
You have to do it. Do you know?
So, best, I would say, same type of hours. People, you understand. You understand the way of life, because it is a very different way of life.
It's Michelle. Michelle, go over there. You know, Talingo, it's a secret language.
It's yeah. So what was I going to say? You're distracting me, Ray.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it's very different to a 9 to 5, for example. Like I'm up early every morning. I go to bed early every evening. So, my ex-partner, he did the same. We would both get up at 5:30 in the morning. Yay! We can have a coffee together and then go and train our clients. So I would say that kind of thing. Trainers, we all have the same downtimes as well. So that was one of my in the previous in the past. What's that? In the past, I would, when I train or I work when people are off.
Yeah.
So social life, especially before I stopped doing weekends, I just felt like I never really had time to see friends, or I was too tired. In the evening, I finished too late and I had to get up too early to ever see anyone. So I spend a lot of my downtime by myself. And back then, I didn't like being by myself. So that, again, it was a struggle for me. Whereas now, I love my alone time. Lockdown.
You so do. You do.
I do.
I know.
Honestly, I have been here living my best life by myself. I'm quite happy being in my own personal space, which is something that I didn't enjoy before. So when I then had a boyfriend that was in the fitness industry, I was able to spend a little bit of time with him, in the middle of the afternoon before we both went off and
did our things.
Did our thing, yeah.
The worst part.
Worst
is it the flirting?
part?
Is it the flirting? Because you guys have to flirt sometimes to get clients and things.
That doesn't really bother me.
Competitiveness?
The worst thing is when the flirting leads to more for another person.
catch the lines, catch the blurred lines there.
Yeah, guys, just what happened.
Catch the message there, you guys.
So
there was a kettlebell involved. I just want to say that.
What did you say?
There was a kettlebell involved. I just want to say that.
There
was injuries involved.
I suppose the worst thing would be if you are looking, like, for example, I don't really know what the worst thing.
Oh, so all was great?
No, obviously not. Otherwise, we'd still be together, right?
Yeah, that is true. The rise never got to you rejected. When did you reject me?
I always reject you.
Boo-boo, you would be so lucky. You would be so lucky.
There's definitely negatives. I just can't think of them right now because I'm a positive person.
There's too many.
I'm a positive person.
Okay, Sally. Okay, Sally. Digital space, how has it changed the fitness industry or for you in the last 5 years? I know you took a break from Instagram. I remember you deleted the apps. You would do like social detoxes. You've also talked about like gaining things from it, promotions like, you know, you've got the Sweaty Betty thing now. You're ambassador for them and other bits and bobs. Yeah, positives and negatives of social media and just the digital space in fitness.
Yeah, positives that you're able to help people you don't know. You know, that for me, if I've posted a little workout or yeah, mainly that when people have messaged me and they've thanked me for it, or it's really nice to be able to know that you can make a difference in someone's life.
Yeah.
But negatives is, I mean, I've got a real kind of love hate relationship with social media kind of right now. I mean, I watched the what's that Netflix documentary?
Oh, not the social dilemma.
The Social Dilemma.
Is that it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a Social Dilemma.
Yeah.
And it's scary. It's so scary. And I feel really bad for teenagers that are growing up with Instagram and their perceptions of what a realistic body or what a realistic, you know, the reality is so distorted. And like, I think back at myself, you know, I've always had body issues from a young age, and that's without social media. If I then was able to scroll through social media and see all these perfect people,
Yeah.
I don't know what that would have done for me mentally. So yeah, no, I also think it's addictive. People expect, I don't know. I'm just if I didn't use it for work, I definitely wouldn't be on Instagram. Let's say that. So I have turned off my notifications, which, you know, now I'm there on social media. I'm there to post my stories. I'm there to reply to DMs, but I don't really scroll through anymore. I don't even really look through stories or anything like that. I'm kind of just there to be there because I have to be there.
I think you have to also realize that half of the things that people do, like including myself, we have filters, we have Photoshop, we have like so much that we do to try and kind of like personify this perfect or this picture, this Kodak moment, as we used to do back in the day when we had films. Do you remember post and like Kodak moment? But like in reality, it ain't like that. It ain't like that.
No, but I'm a grown woman, right? But if I'm in a bit of a negative headspace and then you see all of these perfect people, or, you know, people living their best life, because people only ever show their best life on Instagram, and you think, how can you know, that person's life is so amazing and my life's so boring compared to them. I don't know, I feel like there's definitely positives, but there are a lot of negatives.
I think people need to check on things. It's sometimes interesting as well. I had somebody on not last week, I think the week before, and it's like sometimes there's this battling conversation about like you'll post something substantial and you'll write like a deep, meaningful like caption, and that might not get as many likes as like, I don't know, a sexy, beautiful picture as you, and it just goes to show like the shallowness of it all. Or somebody who's immensely talented has like maybe 400 followers and doesn't get a lot of views on the things, but somebody who might have like 20k plus followers and things like that, and you know, gets the amount of outreach, but they might not have interaction. And I think the digital space, it's a curse and a blessing. So you definitely, I think as a consumer, you have to take all of those things into regard and really analyze. But we're gonna move on to fun times now.
Oh gosh.
And we're gonna play a bit of games. Are you ready?
Okay.
The games are called Sip a Chai or Play with Rye. So basically, there's gonna be segments in this, but if you want to play, you play with Rye. That sounds wrong, but you know what I mean. And if you don't want to play, you basically sip your chai, which I have finished, by the way. But I
Me
don't know
too.
how your hot chocolate, you'll just sip the air. All right. You post a lot of healthy foods such as this on your Instagram, but we both know that ain't the truth because I know the truth and I have some damaging evidence for you, which one day I will release on your wedding day. What the hell is this accent? It's an accent. I'll stop it. Fine. Ouch. People are messaging about the accent. We both know that you're not that healthy behind the scenes and this personified
How
perception that you're trying.
rude.
Chloe, don't. I
Let
will
me.
expose you with pictures and videos.
No,
Don't do this.
Listen. I am very upfront. Yes, I love a burger. I eat a lot of chocolate, but I am not portraying. I feel like I'm quite vocal about that. I think everyone that knows me knows my love for chocolate.
Okay.
Those things that I've posted, they're not fake. I ate those salads, and I post them because I want to show people that eating healthy doesn't need to be eating boring.
Okay, well, I would love for you to post a picture of you with melted chocolate or doner kebab in your onesie or something like that. Until that day, I will hold it. But
Do you know what? I will do that for you this weekend. I'm going to post a picture just for you.
On your grid, not your story.
Yeah, on my grid.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this was the question, which is you love healthy foods, but what is the most unhealthiest thing about you?
My chocolate addiction.
Your chocolate addiction.
Yeah.
Okay, you are very competitive.
No,
Very competitive.
I don't know what competition is.
You're very competitive. And dare I say, are you a sore loser, would you say?
I don't think I am.
Okay, well, I mean, you almost broke my vagine at New Year's Eve, doing a stupid game of cereal, which hurts till this day. I will never recover my vagine. But and you are quite competitive and very flexible, which we got to know. But when was the last time you lost, and what was it at? Oh wow, come
I
on.
don't lose.
No, come on, you have lost in your life.
What's losing? I don't know what losing is.
Come on.
When was the last time I lost? Oof. I don't know.
Oh my God, I think you need to sip something. Bunch of BS is what you need to sip. Okay. Have you ever farted during teaching?
No.
Don't lie to me.
No.
She said Michelle is saying lockdown quiz to Louise on the tiebreaker.
That is true. Yes.
How
Oh my
does
God,
that
I'm
feel?
the worst. I'm the worst quizzer.
Yeah, you are. Okay, so you've never farted during teaching?
No.
I think that's a lie. Have you farted during training a client ever?
No.
Wow. Pet peeves about the following group teaching.
What's pet peeves?
Like something that irritates you. Like, for fuck's sake, why can't they just stop?
Group teaching.
Yeah.
When people don't listen when I'm trying to explain something.
And they're on their phones,
Yeah.
yabbering.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say bike setups, but okay.
Oh no.
PT.
When they say no, don't want to do that exercise. I'm telling you to do the exercise.
Online classes.
Don't know.
Okay, cool. Have you ever faked it in a class?
Yeah.
All the time?
All the time.
Have you ever hooked up with a student or a client?
No.
Okay.
No.
Stalked a student or a client online.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. You know the game Marry, Shag, and Kill, right?
Yeah.
Your themed rides, I love. I feel like you and I have a special connections when it comes to Beatus and Cletus. There will never be ever a more explosive, you know, I do entertainment, you do what you do in the studio. But I'm going to show you 3 pictures, and the game is called Delete Archive Report. You've had some monumental costumes, and you go full out for these costumes. So I'm going to show you 3 pictures, and you delete one, you archive one, and you repost one. Okay, there's this, your Halloween, Christmas, and where's the third one? The third one is, I personally loved Clochella. I came up with that. I'm not
I
gonna
know,
lie.
and I just recently I did a Clochella online again.
I would like my percentage from that class.
Yeah, it was a good one. I had a lot
I
of
couldn't
yeah.
I couldn't find your Baywatch one. I'm not gonna lie. That was a monumental one as well.
That was a good one. I went
Yeah.
out that night as well wearing that
I
outfit.
remember.
Yeah.
I remember. Okay, so which one would you delete? Which one would you repost? And which one would you archive?
I'd probably repost that one.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. I would probably archive the Halloween one because I think it looks cool.
Cool.
And
you
the other
would
one,
repost.
I would
Oh
just
no, you would delete this one.
probably delete that one. I mean, yeah, I do love dressing up, but you know.
You do. Have there ever been famous mishaps doing these costumes? Have there ever been like, ow, ow?
Yeah, I feel like there has, but I can't think of one. But
No worries. No worries. We're gonna move on to the next section. This, you're a great singer, a great, great singer, and if my memory serves me right, you are the lyric police. Oh my God, do you know your lyrics? This next game is called Clan Chloe Shamana Shamana. Okay, I am gonna Shamana Shamana, and you have to sing back the lyrics to me.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And if you don't, you have to do a burpee.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready? Sing back to me, all right? Shamna, shamna, sham. Shamna, shamna, sham. Shamna, shamna, sham.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. I'm from plastic. It's fantastic. You can brush my hair and touch me everywhere.
Undress me.
That's just, it's just as bad.
Do a no worries. All right, next one. Shamna, 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 shamna. Shamna, shamna, shamna. Shamana, shamana, shamna.
I've got no idea what you're shamana.
Now you know how it feels. So you must do a burpee. You must do a burpee whilst I'm singing this. Are you ready? It goes, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
in the club with my homies, trying to do a little deal. Keep it down with the low key, cause you know I would be. Well done, well done. All right, are you ready? Carry on. Shamna, 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 sham. Shamna, shamna, sham, sham. Shamna, shamna,
all right,
sham.
all right. Maria Carey.
Yes, and you will sing it. If you can sing it in Espanol, I will let you go because you are multilingual.
Oh, wait 1 second. I don't know why. There we go.
What happened? All right, go.
There's a hero and a shine.
Burpee! Burpee!
I'm going to the burpee.
I can see this burpee, I'm not gonna lie. You could just be jumping. Okay, ready? Next one. Shamna, 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 shamnana, 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 shamna, 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 shamna. Guys, you can hire me. I also do singing.
Did anyone get that?
Chloe, come on. I'll do it one more time. Shamna, 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 na, shamna, na, na, shamna, na, 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 na.
Oh, it's at the tip of my tongue. Destiny's Child.
Don't give it away, Emmanuel. It is by Destiny's Child.
Go on, Manny. What song was it?
No, come on, do a burpee and I'll sing it.
You know I'll
4,
do burpees.
Let me cater to you, cause baby,
wow.
this is your
yeah,
day.
No, I was never gonna get that.
All right, come on, burpee, burpee, burpee. We would like to see these burpees. That's not a burpee. Can you do sit-ups there? In the space that you're at. Okay, you can do a sit-up. Okay. All right, ready? Shamna, sham nam nam nam. Shamna, sham nam nam. Shamna, sham nam nam nam.
Wait.
Shamna, sham nam nam nam. Shamna, sham nam nam. Shamna, sham nam nam.
Fuck, I'm not good.
Shamna, sham nam nam nam. Sham nam nam.
I'm in love with you.
No.
Wait. No.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. These are horrible, horrible. I hope you don't get bookings of PT through this, because those are horrible setups. All right. Are you ready? 2
Rihanna,
more.
what song was it?
That wasn't Rihanna. 1 kiss is all it takes. Fall in love with me. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Next one. Shamna, 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 na. Shamna, 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 sham. Shamna, 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 nam, sham, nam, 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 nam. Shamna, nam, shamna, shamanam. Shamana, shamana, sham. Shamana, 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 nam, nam, sham, nam, 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 nam.
Okay.
Yes.
These boots are made for walking. That's just what they do. And someday
These days, babes, I'm gonna walk all over you. Well done, your last one. This is emotional. Are you ready? Shamna, shamna, sham. Shamna, shamna, na. Shamna, 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 shamna.
No.
Never mind, I find someone like you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I wish nothing but the best
for you
too. Don't forget. I can't wait for the day till one of you guys does an Adele, Sam Smith, Michael Bublé, all 3 in 1. Until this, because it's gonna be super depressing. There's not gonna be puddles of like sweat. There's gonna be puddles of tears.
Yeah.
It's gonna be called ride your.
Also, the
problems
other day
away.
I was sleeping or in bed, and I'm gonna do Justin Timberlake versus Britney Spears, and I don't know how I've never thought of this before.
I think you should get Dan Little in there.
Oh my God, yes.
Maybe there should
Justin,
be a little dance
and
up.
I'll be Britney Spears.
If any people from Dig Me are on here, I always love to give a little love to Dan Little. Please go make sure you check out his YouTube videos. It'll be great. All right. If you were a movie, what would it be called? Quick, rapid.
If I was a movie?
Yeah, what would it be called and who would it star?
Chocolat.
Chocolat. Who would it star?
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth. Okay, cool. If you were a song, what would it be? And sing it. Ready?
Body works. And be your body work. I wanna see your body work.
It's an original song. It's an original song.
What?
You're making an original song about you.
Oh. Okay.
Ready? 5, 4.
My name is Chloe Laureyns. Welcome to Dig Me. Let's have some fun. That's going to be my new introduction, by the way. You just heard it here first.
Well done. If you were a food dish, what would you be?
Nutella.
If you were a color, what would you be?
Blue.
If you were a flower, what would you be?
A rose.
If you were perfume, what would your scent be called, and what would be the 3 components? 5.
BBC.
BBC. And what would the 3 scents be?
Vanilla, coconut, sandalwood.
These are body lotions. If you were a clothing line, what would the name be and what would the style be?
BBC, fitness clothing.
You do know BBC is going to sue the hell out of you, right?
Excuse me, it's Bodies by Chloe. It's my brand.
Okay, well, you can't call yourself BBC because it's a pretty huge international corporation. If you were an exercise...
Yeah?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
If I do different drawings, I can.
We shall see. I cannot wait to be proved wrong. If you were an exercise, what would you be?
Burpee.
Okay. If you were a drink, what would you be and what would you be called?
I would be, I mean, there's lots of options coming to my mind.
Name the first one.
First one was coffee, a latte.
Yeah.
The second one was spiced rum and ginger beer.
Okay.
Third one was Sambuca shots.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah.
You have a famous slogan, which is, "What time is it?"
Shot o'clock.
Okay. And you have a multitude of friends, as shown in this picture, and we're gonna give them each a slogan. Okay.
Okay.
Some of them who are not in this. Okay. Steph.
What do you mean? The 1%er.
The 1%er. Now let's work from Louis.
Louis, a slogan or just my names for them?
No, slogans.
I don't know. Oh, this is too much pressure.
Come on, this is rapid fire. You're taking too long.
The momager.
The momager. Okay, next one is Susanna.
The drama queen.
You're just giving them names. These aren't slogans. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is not the game anymore. Kate.
Giraffe.
I'm not going to
come up with slogans.
Slogans.
I'm not. This is not in my speciality. I'm so sorry.
Who's next? Jimmy. Michelle. No. Okay. Ali.
Dr. Bacteria.
Has she found the cure yet for this whole thing?
No, she's working on it. She's working on it.
I say to this day that Ali's going to find the cure and there's going to be a movie on it, which is going to win BAFTAs, Oscars and everything. And it's going to be about her and Jimmy. And we're going to be in this, like I'll produce it. And you know.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Is that next Vivian?
Yeah. I don't really know Vivian.
Ruby Rubes.
Ruby Roo.
Ruby Roo? Okay, cool. Now, some of the instructors, okay, please try and give them in slogans. Please.
Can we move on to the next scenario?
No, come on. And then we're going to move on.
Okay.
Just give me one-liners. Dan.
The Hoff.
Paul.
The Dark Lord of Perform.
Sean.
The Serious Rider. It's not a slogan, is it? But I don't know what you want from me.
Okay, that's fine. Ben.
I don't know what these slogans should be. Okay, let me turn it round.
What? No, this is my show. You do it.
I don't care. You give me a slogan.
This is not how it works, okay?
I'm changing the rules.
I'm just gonna move on. Okay, that was horrendous.
Yeah.
All right. I need you to find a space and move the camera into a space where I can do this. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I need you. You're gonna move now. You're gonna move. So I need you to move the camera so we can see you move.
Oh my. Oh, you can.
Okay, are you ready?
Mystery.
Okay. The game is called back, shoulder, chest, butt, legs. Back, shoulder, chest, butt, legs. Okay? You keep touching those parts, okay, and keep saying it. Back, shoulder, chest, butt, legs. Okay?
Back, shoulders, chest, butt,
legs. Okay, cool. We know there's famous countries and there's moves such as, the Bulgarian deadlift. the Turkish leg raise or whatever it's called. You're gonna keep doing this, and as soon as I say a country, you're gonna create a move. This section is called innovate and motivate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you're doing this and you stop at your legs, and I say England, you have to create a move right there and then an exercise move. Okay?
Create it.
Yeah, create it. Innovate and motivate. And this is gonna catch on. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a couple. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Back, shoulder, chest, butt, legs. Back, shoulder, chest. Back, shoulder, chest, butt, legs. Back, shoulder, chest, butt, legs. Back. Say it with me.
Back, shoulders, chest, butt, legs. Back, shoulders, chest, butt, legs. Back, shoulders, chest, butt, legs.
Okay, you have to do a Fiji-inspired leg movement. This is going to be called the Fiji. It has to be practical. What are you working out there? Your inner thighs.
Yeah.
Okay, the Fiji. What would you call this move? The Fijian thigh squat.
The Fijian thigh slap.
The Fijian thigh slap. Okay, next move. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Back to back, shoulder, chest, butt, legs. Back, shoulder, chest, butt. Stop. What, legs again?
Yeah.
Okay, the country is Sweden. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Sweden. I don't know. I want to do a wall sit.
Okay, what is the move called? The Swedish wall sit.
The Swedish wall sit, yeah.
Okay, well, I don't think there was anything Swedish about that, but no worries. All right, go. Back, shoulder, chest, butt, legs. Back, shoulder, chest, butt, legs. Stop.
But.
Okay, cool. The Bangladesh is your country. I'm going to count till 10. 10, 9, 8.
Oh my God,
7,
I don't know.
6,
I'm not good
5,
at this.
4, 3, 2, 1. What is the move called?
It's the Bangladesh kick.
The Bangladesh kick, the Bengali kick. We'll call it the Bengali kick.
The Bengali
All right.
kick.
One more country. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Back, shoulder, chest, butt, legs. Back, shoulder, chest, butt, legs. Stop.
Shoulders.
Okay, you get to choose. I'll name 3 countries and you can choose either of them. Japan, Poland, or Zimbabwe. And just come up with a name and an exercise. I'm going to count till 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
The
9.
Holland roof.
The what?
The Dutch roof.
The Dutch roof.
Yeah.
Okay. Chloe, you are known famously for your dancing skills. You and interpretive dancing skills, I must say. Right? You're a great lyrical dancer. You recently did an interview, dare I say, on, is it Sheer Lux?
Yes.
Yeah, you gave some tips. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read some quotes and you're going to do interpretive dancing of what I say.
Listen.
Yes, yes,
I think I never agreed to this. I agreed to a chat.
Are you ready? Warm up, ready? Come on, interpretive dancing. All right, get into the space, interpretive dancing. I'm going to read out something and you're going to interpret this. Are you ready? These are your quotes. If you want to lose some lockdown weight, it's not always to focus on cardio. Instead, look to strength training. The great thing about lifting weights is that you'll start to build more muscle, and the more muscle you have, the more calories you'll burn in your what is happening in your day-to-day life. Which also, you're not, come on, interpretive dancing. It's a lyrical dance. Okay, ready? Never be afraid to go for those heavy weights. Either remember you can really get your heart rate uplifting, and it's great for getting endorphins pumping. All right, well done. Second quote. Are you ready?
Gosh, can we just stop this?
One more. Come on. Well, it's 2 more. All right, ready? Get back into the space. Interpretive dancing. You can do it in front of the camera if you want to. Are you ready? Guys, please call out Chloe if she's not doing it. Interpretive dancing. You're a great dancer. Come on. Get back to training you were doing pre-lockdown. This will mean your body will react better and you have some time away from the gym. You may well perform better. Mix up your training program every 6 to 8 weeks to keep seeing results. Just remember to ease yourself in slowly.
I don't know what you're actually making me do right now.
Come on, come on.
I don't believe you've made anyone else do this before.
No, I have. Please watch my lives and you'll know. Come on, come on. Interpretive dancing.
I've been doing interpretive dancing.
You're just sitting and moaning. The most common mistake people tend to make is doing too much soon. It's common for people who haven't trained for months suddenly going back straight to the 5 hard sessions each week, which can lead to fatigue and injuries after 4 to 6 weeks. Always make sure you do a thorough warm-up before your session.
I don't remember having such long quotes.
I have never had a guest who has opposed me so much as you have, young lady.
I don't think you've ever made a guest do all of this.
You should be ashamed, and more ashamed. You should climb up and climb to the wall of shame. Climb onto this wall of shame.
I will.
Can't believe this, Chloe. But thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to look back at that. This is going to be saved. Thank you for participating. We're going to end now. We're reaching 2 hours.
Yes.
All right. And it was only meant to be an hour.
Uh-huh.
Words of wisdom or what advice you would give to anybody who is coming into the fitness industry?
I always get asked this.
All right, well then don't answer it. You can just say that. Just be rude like you were before, and just not doing my interpretive dancing or any of the games. Guys, Chloe isn't conscious of saying.
Don't compare yourself to anyone else.
Yeah.
And
wait. I've got a better one for you. Words of wisdom or advice you would give to your younger self?
Stand up for yourself more. Dare to say no.
Nice one. Nice one. See, have you ever been asked that before?
No, I haven't.
There you go. All right. And guys, whoever want words of wisdom and advice, like just look Chloe up. Apparently she said it before a couple of times and she doesn't want to answer it on here. So, we'll just move on from that. I always ask this for people, and this question is called the peaks and valleys. Peaks are the highest points in our life. It can be career or person, and you just tell me what that was for you and what lesson you learned from it. A valley is a low point in our life, personal or career, and what lesson you learned from it. Go.
They're both connected to each other. My lowest point was just before my operation. I know this is a bit it's a bit, what's the word? Personal, but also like deep, or like,
yeah.
So basically, yeah, I really prayed that I wouldn't wake up again after my operation. Sometimes you get put under and yeah, I was in a very, like I said, it was not a good place. And then I would say coming out on the other side, just going like, let's say a month with not having any bad days and feeling happy, and yeah, just the complete opposites.
What did you learn from all of that, from that period where you had such high and such lows?
It's not really about learning. It's just because I can't really control the way I feel.
Yeah.
But I mean, if anything, I'm very open to, I don't know, I like to share my experiences, because I know, especially right now, lots of people are going through bad times, and I know what it's felt like, and I know what it's like to feel like things are never going to change. You're never going, you don't see the like blue sky. You just feel like this is how you're going to feel forever.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like the problem is, had someone said that to me, like, don't worry, better days will come, I'm just like, you don't know what you're talking about. because at that point you don't see anything else. But yeah, I mean, I don't be afraid to go and get help. Don't be afraid to try medication. Don't be, just try all of the things out, and eventually you will find something that works for you. See, that's ended on a really low note, hasn't it?
Well, I mean, no, we'll awesome. Any upcoming things that you're working on?
No. Sorry.
Oh my God. What you're going back to teaching classes.
That's not upcoming things I'm working at.
Yeah, but like any upcoming projects, more PT, you're gonna launch something, you're gonna do something.
Yeah, it's top secret.
Okay, that's awesome. Where can people find more about you?
I feel like everything you need to know about me is in this chat.
But you can find Chloe on Bodies by Chloe.
Yes.
Chloe, you don't have a website or anything, but do you have a Twitter, Facebook, anything
I've got
like that?
Facebook, but I don't really, like I said, I'm not a huge social media person.
Yeah.
You're best getting me on Instagram, to be honest.
Or just come to one of the classes at Dish May Fitness and talk to
go.
Chloe after. Socially distance, of course, and we'll put barriers in between you two. And then maybe you can just look at each other from the window, and I'll bring you food and I'll put it down near you and you two could eat. Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. That brings us to the end. I have no words. I do. I'm very much thankful that you answered my message, that you agreed to do this, that you went so deep and you discussed so much.
It's time for I'm a Celeb. Hello, people need to get going.
Wow, I'm trying to finish up on like a nice gratitude of a moment, but you are all just ruining it.
No, I don't watch that kind of stuff.
Can I just say, this is how it feels when you do your beats and cleats. I'm trying to clean up after you guys, and you guys are standing behind and trying to drink your Prosecco and all of the things. Now you know how it feels for me to
I
take
bet you
up your
missed me
time.
doing beats and cleats though. Thank you, Ian. Well, you're off to watch a Celeb too, right? I don't watch it.
I don't watch it as well, but thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You didn't have to say yes, and I'm very, very grateful. So thank you, Chloe. Stop reading the messages. I'm trying to give you a nice little compliment. And thank you for housing Manny and myself when we were homeless. You're a really, really good friend. And thank you for offering us your house again this Christmas for us to use and abuse.
All right.
Manny, that's a yes, by the way. But thank you. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. I will see you
soon. In live, in person.
In person. Grazie. Oh,
bye,
wait, before we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Dong. Dong.
Dong.
Dong.
You've got to eat your grapes. People don't understand.
Yeah.
I think people think we're losing it.
We are. All right. Bye. Yeah. Love you.
Bye.